I mean, when you talk about extreme, you know, frostbite conditions, I think it's the wind, really. You know what I mean? When you start talking a wind chill of whatever with 17 or 25 mile an hour gust, then I think you can get in your head pretty quickly and you feel like you have to reinvent yourself. I mean, short of that kind of bluster, they want to, let's be real, they want to run the heck out of the football anyway, right? I mean, it's J-A-J-A all day long, and that travels. You know, you could pack that and bring it to Antarctica. Now we'll see how successful they are and how much, if they can limit Matt Moore to, 25-ish attempts, that would be their sweet spot. And Pittsburgh's defense is going to, have a lot to say about that. And then on the other side, Pittsburgh's, won 7 in a row. It really goes back to them struggling at midseason and reinventing their offense to some degree and just leaning on Le'Veon Bell and running everything through him and allowing him to set up play-action stuff downfield and featuring him early and often. And they've had great success with that, and Miami's run defense hasn't exactly been stellar. So I think that's where this game will be decided.
Jason La Canfora with us here on Tiki and Tierney. Adam Gase, regardless, he's done a really good job. And I wanted to at least throw this by in terms of coaching news. It took a while, but looks like Pagano's certainly going to be back, and it looks as if Grigson is going to get another chance to show just how bad he truly is. He's awful. Do we read anything into the delay by Irsay?
No, I'm still, from what I've heard, Pagano has told some people that he's gotten assurances that, I'm bringing you back. I haven't heard that as strongly for Grigson. It's, that building is kind of on liberal leave. I don't know if it's because of the storm or whatever, but a lot of people working from home today. There's still a lot of uncertainty. A lot of people unsure. I mean, look, the owner's going to have to come out and say something. Even if it's just a tweet, or a statement on the website. At some point, you need to provide clarity. You saw what the Lions did this week. They're going to be sending out season ticket renewals soon. They're going to be asking people to plump down thousands of dollars for next year's product. They, as consumers, have a right to know specifically who the coach is and who's picking the players.
Yeah.
That's a modicum of what you would expect, right, as a consumer in this situation. So, all this is kind of cute and reading the tea leaves, and I know he eats this up, and he loves kind of having all, people wondering, ooh, what's Irsay up to? But, that's only cute for so long. So, again, whether it's today or whether it's Monday or sometime in the near future, it would kind of behoove him to settle everybody down in his organization and let them know what the plan is and do it. Because it's not it's just that he's not, putting anything out publicly. He hasn't had a full staff meeting. You know what I mean? They don't. The people, I got people from that building are calling me, and I'm definitely not the only journalist they're calling, saying, what are you here? Because he seems to be eating this up publicly and privately.
Yeah, no, that's never a good thing because it puts uncertainty in people's minds. Uncertainty, and I'm reading this from your column on CBSSports.com, could surround Bill O'Brien in Houston. How real is the possibility that he could be gone if after the playoffs, or if they one and done, or whatever happens in the playoffs?
I mean, there's always conversations at the end of any year, right? Even the most successful year, you're going to have exit interviews. You're going to sit down with the owner and the GM. You're going to talk about what we did right, what we did wrong, and where we go from here. And depending on the timing of when their season ends, and depending on what other jobs might still be available, and depending on Bill O'Brien's willingness to continue to take on Brock Osweiler, because let's face it, Osweiler's at least going to be a part of the equation next year. He's, at the very least, there's going to have to be an open competition to give him the chance to try to come close to earning another $17 million next year that he's going to get no matter what he does. So, does that make sense for O'Brien? After all the quarterbacks he's been through, and there was quarterback drama even last week. I mean, recall in that game, Savage basically got benched. I mean, he was cleared to come back from a concussion. Now, nobody knew that 20 minutes later he was going to start feeling the symptoms again and have to be removed at halftime. And there was at least 2 drives that Osweiler was in that it could have been back to Savage. So, he yanked Brian Hoyer 3 quarters into last season. I mean, so how stable is that? And how do they feel? And do they feel like that's giving Osweiler the best chance to kind of move forward, or does he need a clean slate? So there's a lot of things that will have to sort of be hashed out. And no, I don't. I mean, a lot of people around the league wouldn't be shocked, and that would be an appealing job, even if you're stuck with Osweiler for another year. You got somebody like Mike McCoy out there, who I think people in that franchise think highly of. Remember, Kyle Shanahan was an offensive coordinator there under Kubiak, and did a really good job. and was very comfortable in Houston. So that would, there would be plenty of options for both parties if they did, go with that proverbial mutual parting of the ways.